abo apɛ mu abusanfo ma mu nyina adwo UTV so enie omayimu ene amahodro so nsam ayensa kane aboaboa no eno na edru so ayede ebramu na ye kam se nunsia kase boy DSTV channel 360 yedam so this way chocolate free kosudonya any insuration special ice and so you emu ode enimo ayakroji and afi special drinks and so emu gwa hodo do pebia no won baby e de amausa enwumakoi ene afoforo enkae na akabom aso yasne ayede enwumrei nonsia anampo enwumrei kaseboy ebremu na de bedimu akotini bi enie Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado Akasa ede atudwa se eba automobile industry adwumako na wo mbe yenhye bebredi afa ho aboa amaniema nyina atumi agihini
Ebunada mmrahebedwafo agi 11 etumo NDC mmrahebedwafo bi na wo mo enso ekoba se ye mark wo absent omo ama no speaker ede chopa ama wo
sa 11 kroya ni so yenya ntese Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado se de wasan ase ama enche ebeshase aye adwuma
World Health Organization dwumedie bi adi no otu anamon de afatobako ho a wapa eho ensoma
sanso ena openya wono da economic department ano University of Ghana meche Professor William Ba Boatin wakasa dia tudwa se emebunu enwuma eni ho enam so ama emebunu do na ya bo asesa wo memu no wo se aban no wo hyase de nisike mu odu ewura kuaye agudie ena afenso eye akwansem se be emebunu do no abetumi de wo ho akowre mu bie
Data Protection Commission de atudwa se enwumakuo ahanu aduonum ebaako wo mo de aban no eka wo mo enchiai
Awzafo wei ene ensembia ebi eka wona editie na edihwe ene aso so krojia yede ebremu ewo UTV so ewo enkran abeka junction midin ede Afia Adutwumwaa Morosa nene
Obahima Afia Akyere Asiedu
Africa sebono emu ensam enie Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado Ghana mampanyi adinkan ade atudwa se be kakra no enya ade aka obi atenemu dada ani yebekra ade afri omamu aba Ghana ha se de enwumaku akese a wo mu ye ahyen wa mahodo so no ebi abahase a ahyen mu no ombeye na yesusu yetumi atobenu nti wo se aban botane se de odini sikemu odu ene nyina no ebe kire sa industry ni mu na aboa amatumi agedwapa atena so ewo mayimu
Omampani Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado edi atudwa se ebre aso se wo mu edi ka ho dwa ewo man Ghana mu no wo mu ebetumi de policies ahodo ahye mu kenam nti ene dwumadie bi a wo mu eye eboaye ekokobie state of the art assembly plant ema nizan adwumakuo no Omampani Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado akwakopiem wase akokasa edi ato wo mu anim se wode nhyehyɛ pa eba begufom se de be ya wo mu assemble ka ewo man Ghana mu no wo betumi aye ne ye na Ghana fo no atumi atoka sahodo no bi ewo man Ghana mu na enkobase ebekra bi afri amanone na sisia wo man Ghana mu no cars nyumakuo bebre ena o mabapie mu ewo man Ghana mu a ebi ene Hyundai Kia ena Isuzu ya wo mu nyina no ekrakra cars parts ni nyina na o mabekeka bomu amana ye ka mu a ewo man Ghana mu enti Omampani Nana Adankwa Ekufo Ado eto nsa afre wo mu betimi de omusika ba be hyembia ewo man Ghana mu se wo mu emra na sisia de automobile industry no a ewo man Ghana mu no aban eba be hyemu kenapa se de be ya ebeboa.
The establishment of this state-of-the-art assembly plant attests to the attractiveness of Ghana as a prime investment destination. In spite of the current economic challenges largely brought forth by the pandemic of COVID-19, the partnership between a leading domestic business group, Japan Motors, and a major global company, Nissan Motor Corporation, makes an even more compelling case for Ghana as the new commercial and investment capital of Africa. I'm delighted that in the automobile sector, we have successfully attracted investments from a number of global iconic brands, including Volkswagen, Toyota, and now Nissan. Other original equipment manufacturing groups, including Hyundai, Kia, and Isuzu, have also reached advanced stages of establishing commercial production facilities in Ghana. These new investments have been realized on the back of the new Ghana Automotive Development Policy and Program, which offers very generous fiscal incentives and creates an attractive ecosystem for the automotive industry. We recognize establishment of assembly plants alone does not create the significant employment opportunities expected from the automotive industry. It is in the light of the foregoing the government is implementing programs and projects such as the development of the integrated bauxite and aluminium and integrated iron and steel industries to produce the required raw materials that will feed the components manufacturing industry in Ghana. In addition to this comprehensive components manufacturing policy, which will provide targeted incentives to attract various investors to manufacture domestically components and parts, is being developed. The rolling out of this policy will lead to harnessing the capacities of local value chain actors, particularly technicians operating in the Swami Magazine, Abuso, Kai, Kokumpe, and other hubs across the country to play critical roles in the component manufacturing and supply development program. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, I have the great pleasure to commission formally the Nissan Assembly Facility in Ghana.
Nano blana Ghana mrashibijafo eji 11 no etumo na de akoba ene se edom kuma mrashibijafo bia na wo mo mrashibijuma bra na dwumedie ne ekoso no se mpanyimfo ani bofa wo so enti e market register na e wo nyina absent se wo amma eno ena mrashibijafika samafo ora abambaben edi chopa amasafo no enyina.
The Speaker, as you recall, yesterday even at conclave, I drew your attention in the presence of the clerk. At that material time, I saw even Excellency Vice President and the Mrs. seated. When I said that I will raise this important matter on the votes and procedures, because, Mr. Speaker, I know the political consequences and its ramifications on my caucus and on my members and on their constituents, especially in a public that is gullible and buy anything. Mr. Speaker, as you recall, even when we were walking out, I drew the attention of the clerk and the deputy clerk at the door there that I take this matter seriously. And Mr. Speaker, I don't want to believe that this side of the House, for purpose of someone's professional negligence, is being discriminated against.
Mr. Speaker, imagine Honorable Kotu Sabuka. Right from 8 o'clock, he was in this house. Honorable Dan, Latif, Honorable Elizabeth, Honorable Afia Martin, Mr. Speaker, all these members were in this house. And I don't know. Salam. Honorable Abu Salam from New Dubiasi, Superior Ibu, was even sick, was in a white gown, Jalabia, at the back here.
My checks revealed to me that indeed a good number of members failed to sign the attendance sheet. What were you expecting the table office to do in an instance where you failed to sign the attendance sheet? So let's be considerate. We have to be considerate in our criticisms of the table office. They have worked in this house. They have shown true credibility and competences. And so if this is one off, I mean, for this sitting, this is one off. So if you are criticizing the table office, we should be considerate.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, we just want to sound caution to our clerk and his team. It is true that people may have their party affiliations, but what we expect from them is fairness and accurate reporting. This partisan behavior, we will not tolerate it.
When I arrived into the chamber, I went straight to the young girls and boys sitting at the table office there to register my name, to sign my name. And they told me that the register was in circulation. I should go and sit down. They will bring it to me to sign. I was told in confidence that they know me, they know where I sit, only for me to be recorded as absent on the most critical day. My name is Roman, published in the media, which I will urge my colleagues, we should hold them responsible for them to go out there in correcting the mess that they've caused to us. It is not fair.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to interpret this to mean that the clerk to Parliament, as we heard yesterday on various media, is being singled out. If two people co-author a document, how do you single one out to say that he is responsible for any lapses and leave the other person out? And that is the issue that was brought by the Deputy Majority Leader.
They are indicting Mr. Speaker.
That the Speaker has ultimate responsibility for this. Why do you then elect to leave the Speaker out and attack the clerk?
So, honorable members, please, let's take some time and go through these things well. The heat sometimes is necessary because some Ghanaians are like the tortoise. If you don't put heat under the tortoise, it won't move. And so sometimes I was minority leader, I used to put this heat under. And so I understand why my colleagues are doing the same. In fact, the majority leader, when he was also minority leader, did the same. So we understand that. And so I want to end up by directing that as we go through the correction of rules and proceedings, these matters be captured properly in the votes and proceedings of the House of today, as rectifying the errors that were committed on the votes and proceedings of the 29th of March 2022. As we direct.
Awusanfo yet wakase bono esosa omanfo ebeka nano ebnada bosumida netoso aduonu enkono ena abrewa eyipuma kwemu ema electronic transfer levy bill ayeta fa yi levy no ejamra shebedafo keka wo home ekowiase wonum agitumu eho amane bo apie etrese na adodankwa akufado Ghana mampanyi wode ne nsa ahyasa sese de wagye atumprekope eno bebo kwan atokonum ama yi levy no ahyase aye adwuma enmanimu ya sesi ameka se krampo no edom kuma wo mo mrase bedwafie me chen disifo no makoma komiensa yi levia eja wo mo agye atomu no wonu matamasemi de ko Supreme Court adaya wo mo chesa bra yi levy no ya pass ya nampo agye tumu no na edom kuma no eni ho ena afensu ni padodo number na wese wo mrase bedwafie na wo mo hwe emaye gye eye bill no etumu no na sa number no wo mo enya enu nti kwan bia so yi levia wo mo agye atum no enimu enu nti o Supreme Court ehwe ede de nan esifom na sa yi levy mpanyufo esa atwesensen asasemi eda court wa mampena na dan kwagu fado nso wabepre ne ho wode ne nsa hyase asese de wose wagye atum ama ebehase aye adwuma.
Wiase nyina pomodin asoye World Health Organization womo ene asoye ye hwa pomodin wonsam eso ene abanwumeko bia eka bia ewom no wakeka wo ho bia ama wadadwumedie bia dia efa tobacco anasata ehunsunsonso eho eye framework convention on tobacco control project 2030 eno mo adaleji
Asue ye hwe apomuden ho nsem so na ne ewiase kubatana wo mo so hwe apomuden ho nsem so ne wo mo ka biye akan bomu ya wo mo ebehwe atoato adwen ahwe ohawa hodo abunto ye tobacco yi ede ema nipa ewo oman Ghana mu titiriu efa wo mo apomuden ho nsem so ifise wo mo akiri mu se dodo no ano a wo mo enum bonto anase tobacco anase cigarette ewo oman Ghana mu no dodo no ano ebekwa wiase na yade ene owuo na de aba besue wo mo so na wo oman Ghana mu no enipa be te se 500,000 ya wo mo eye mabunu ene esusu se wo mo enum cigarette no bie ewo oman Ghana mu na ehwehwemu amana ba bedadi se enipa be tese 75 na wo mo fa sa bontonum yesu etimi ewuo na wotwe bia mu na dwumadie na wo mo eye no pani kwankyerefo a oda Food and Drugs Authority ano Awuradelis Mimi Dakon wakwa kopie mu ewase ede nhyehyɛ ahodo a asoye no aye ede ba bebra tobacco num no ase ewo man yi emu.
The Food and Drugs Authority has continually spearheaded the enforcement of tobacco control measures as defined in Part 6 of the Public Health Act of 2012, Act 851, and the Tobacco Control Regulations 2016, ILI 224. Ghana has begun steps towards the domestication of the protocol. This includes an analysis of the existing legislation vis-à-vis the protocol provisions. However, despite these recognized successes, Ghana is still unable to exhibit strong policy implementation as provided by Part 6 of the Public Health Act and the Tobacco Regulations. As an advocate for tobacco-free Ghana, I am excited about this groundbreaking opportunity in tobacco control. This launch sets the right agenda in attainment of the SDG Agenda 2030 in middle-income countries such as Ghana.
Eno achi no soafo a ohwapomde ho nsem so honorable Kwaku Agimamanu enso ede betum se aban aye krado se obeboa na eye tobacco num eye bonto no kwan a ombefa so bia abrase ewo man Ghana mu no womo eba be yinti womo ebebo WHO fo achi dompa amomo di sa adwumadi no ewo oman yi emu.
The FCTC Project 2030 is currently underway, and I am grateful to the WHO, FCTC, WHO, and UNDP for the ongoing technical support. The government is also grateful to the governments of Australia, Norway, and the United Kingdom for their generous funding. As a country, the political motivation to close the gap in tobacco control remains resolute, and I dare say the vision of a tobacco-free society is closer than ever.
Awusianfo ye humeso abasesia ye ba dia kabia ye de beto amoso ye kwaba.
Yama arefo nyina akwa abayetwa ensem no eso.
Openya wono na economic department at University of Ghana wadano Professor William Ba Boatin wakasa adi atudwa say no Ghana emebunu no wo munwuma no ehu ya na eye den no nti ehu be hia pasa aban edi ne dwatire mu odu ebewura kuaye agudie na afenso akwansira nwuma mu se de be ya mebunu dodo no ano betumi de wo ho akowura mu.
National Development Planning Commission for ena womuni empanifo aka bomu a eye 14th National Development Forum no womu aye ewo mai Ghana mu no womuni empanifo womu ka bi yeye ena aka bomu makwa dwendwen enema hodo a womu ebetumi aye aboa mabunu titiriw ewo mai Ghana mu efisa dodo no ano eni nnwuma ye ewo mai yi emu na opani a oda Economic Department ano ewo University of Ghana Professor William Ba Boatin okokopie mu ewo dwumadie no ase editu dwase asoye no bebre wo ho a yebetumi aye nsakraye ewum se de be yebetumi aboa ma nnwuma bebre aba ama mabunu no anya bi aye
economic growth no yenya dodo na free agriculture yekua dwuma mu a eno etimi create employment dodo se yenya free ba bi se mfidi dwuma se manufacturing na ebetimi create employment papa no se meka se yenhwe ba bi te se yes sports creative arts ene culture ehɔ no ase yenhwe ho also ye ba bi a se yedi yani ehwa a enranten maba ne pii ho a ombetimi enya adwuma aye wo ho yesa ko ba bi te se eye enkrahwe me hu se ne brof ne tourism anu so betimi enya ahwe enu ne de edikai ye toso mienu ene education so e was education system e was ye hwe ne yie ebiem obi ho a na dinam kopo de man se enya classroom de minimum eyese ode ne nsa ana ode ne nan ana ode na no ebeye bibi so obo ball ana otumrika ana ohui high jump ana oto nyom ana oye bibi enti ono so by the time a obewie no na sa inter colleges no etimi ama yehu se na obe na ode sports no eko ana ode ebia enyum to eko ana se ode ebia sinitwa eko.
General Secretary Emma Trade Union Congress Dr. Anthony Yauba na wono so EDP so se ebre ason se empanifo behwe na abefo kwantimpon yi so yi online platforms ahodo no ano omo ebetumi aye se de be ya ankrankro nwumaku no omo ebetumi ede atoto ho na mabu na womu ni adwuma ye no omo atumi akọ akokope adwuma no bi aye
obi a oye awofo bia no ade a wodwen ho an se o ma no omo life be ya asenwo de no enti obi o ha 7 previous on co school da enso bisano ni odi ni sika ya o pese ni ma eko university na mo nya abrabo papa sen wo no ana no so ya de pa enti parents there yentimi nsi o mo fom e ba bibi se ya yan awofo no aban na yan kasa afa nso ye kan bibi fa ankrankra adwuma private sector employers so na so aban timi di policy ba na mo nso timi boa na adwuma eni ho no yetimi ebuana yetimi ma adwuma eba omanu.
Director General Emma NDPC Kojo Mensa Abrampa Doctor wono so ejina so the National Youth Policy ahodo a womo ahyehye de bebua mabunu no so honsem etu dwese
ekuye ni National Development Planning Communication Development Commission asem ene ya said ye say ye behwe na santo tuye ene adwuna ye beka wa ne efa mebunu ne ye mpuntuo ne ye adwumaye ne ye ntete no yetumi aye ne ye amakoye ne ehwo hyehye no so ba ese National Youth Policy NYA National Youth Authority ne dumuduma National Development Planning Commission yakasa ene nkusi ni policy pe ya yakoye ni ma plan ka ho ya yakoye ni ma monitoring evaluation efrene say document so ka ho a ebitumi de edi say adwuma yi nyina ya youth index so a ekire youth nankasa yesusu bia ye adwuma yem ye school ko ya ho oden ni nyina no ya empese mu eno so ye beda na di eka say youth policy.
Civil society organizations ahora wodi djuma ewo memo no wodi afutu amom se wo mu ni omulemo na adjuma wo ye ni wo mpesika obetumi di abon ho bra esense ebre bia wo mu ehwe amanoni nyimeku anim apɛ emwa no esanse covid no e di ahokyere bana ansha na emwa omope no so nsa entumi anka
akwa hudu bi ewo my Ghana edin da won so ene civil society organizations na sa akwa hudu yi wonjumadi ahodo no nya akwa bi framonane a wo so na se wo sika fam na wonjumadi atumi akototen efisa covid-19 yarewa no eyi ni ti no samwa no enya dia won sa eka biem ne sayo so ntine kamea kwesi wonjumadi abafom we ama Star Ghana wahyehyɛ nhyiamu edema National Civil Society Organizations akwa hudwe so nyina wombra no mbehia no ntoato adwen akoniasa hodo befa so obenya sika watimi dabo wonku ho bra na wanya bi edi wonjuma kwanchefo panyina wono ne da Star Ghana Foundation ne kona no ene Ibrahim Tanko enchiremu sei ene odemaye.
How do we ensure that civil society organizations are sustainable? How do we ensure that they are effective? And how do we ensure that they are legitimate and accountable? Because there's often the complaint that CSOs are accountable to the donors who give them the money, but not really accountable to the citizens of this country. So those are the three areas we are looking at. How CSOs can be sustainable, how CSOs can be effective, and how CSOs can be legitimate, more legitimate and accountable to. Yes.
And watching Suleiman Brahima of Free Media Foundation for West Africa or no so any Kasai.
So we are civil society now say 1% accountability ebeba we dwuma mu anase obeye pepepe e we dwuma dia. Esi ba ne say na work obi say obi enya accountable. Ya na ban for ta kasa CSOs ye nim ba bia omunye omu secret free. Well me lead CSO me nim omo a ya na omu kasa no CSOs potin a omu kan omu asem because yen Ofa Media Foundation for West Africa okoye website a wo mu aye no mu ye adwuma wo mu aye sika wo mu aye no obudin sawoso wo mu nyina obudin wo ho say wo we mu aye sika Hewlett Foundation aye sika Open Society aye sika Osiwa aye sika we aye sika we aye sika is open nti me nim ne nti obi ebeka say odene funders esie say Ford Foundation ma sika na say USAID ma sika ana David ma sika nso so mempese obi abehu menyi ni say ya na ye no kre
problem kesi ase yesus ye wopa e funding ne fancy sikasem because ese ade efe bi e de sika na ye idwumedi ye die nyina e sikasem nanso impempi no ye sikasem no dodo na afriama no ne na eba ye fra bibi donor agencies women etade sika breya ni embassies ni the other missions and want to support you ndwumedi pa na say because of COVID need the international geopolitics need to know donors no nyina no attention has shifted ekoba be from into among the funding space close in Ghana. So then how are we able to do this perfectly in a way so that one you bet me I encourage the business community to also then rise up and fill this gap the donor community and so and one common ED.
For na ye come say enumere kase boy every UTV so ewo enkran abeka junction na ye to so okwanche for penya wono na Minerals Income and Investment Fund oda ano eye Nana Edward Granting wakasa de atudwa se foto no te say emutira na etre a te say nika ye pa wose dachi bia no wo mo ehwe kwan se foto no ebeye foto asunye ewo efom agudi anyumako ahodo ewo ebibremu nyina emu.
Minerals Income and Investment Fund opeja edisi ho chere se Ghana ban wo hwe asasemu agudi ahodo a yetu ewo ha sika wo se eba ne nchen ene royalty se wo so mutua no ye de hwe ni nyina so na ebi amfa baabia eno so nti ene wo chere se sese wo de nhyehyeye agua kwan mu a Minerals Income and Investment Fund for hwe se wo de sika so 60 million Ghana cedis ebe hye de frɛ no small scale mining emu chere se oba Ghana ha sika yetu no nkakra from a good year no a one peso pejam enti die da so small scale mining incubation program wasi we no mani so ade huno ne se wadi pejam aye ne kese no enam sayo so kra beboa ama emabunu dodo na anyamu adwuma ye na aban no so anya sika de frame ora Granting one nsam trofo kasa wo kumase ebra na wadi ebrebi esi ho a wo konsrahwe e wo mining companies anase nwumaku a otu efom agudia e wo asante mantem ho na akohwe won dwumadi ahoduo mu a wo se
the system be by friend small scale mining incubation program. The net funding partners be the $500 million to our supported small scale mining entities in Ghana. You say the community mining project now, government action small scale mining incubation program. Because your investigations and our research are legitimate small scale miners. No more here working capital. They are not better machines, market. Those are the main things over here. Into small scale miners, no miner. That same day and as after mining, you can for a motor at a very good price. Yes, some more machines. You're more weighing skills. You support you more with the way on best set up or more business. But conditions, say, don't mine in the water bodies. Don't mine in forest reserves. Make sure that you abide by the law. We say, you must support you. You're sure about 10 to 14 years. Because when you mining, 2 years, 3 years, I said, into 500 million, I think it will be increased when we see how things go. And one of the ways FSA is supporting, we share royalties are quarries in Bitimitria, about 100 million cities a year. Once the quarries royalties last time, no, just 3.5 million. Into about the SEO, as if you near visit quarries, near Potty, near Hiomo, the entire mountain making sa royalties here, at least it's me 100 million or 3.5 million. It's getting on Cassan on say, I'm a banker because then you go into bank for more loans, so they are into access to credit you one. International say, if I say quarry be pay loan, maybe our contract, local Ghanaian quarry, if a Ghanaian quarries no pay Busia from the bank. If be a friend underwriting. Into ABS so call for 5 million. A bit me catch a bank and say 5 million, 2.5 million. Say quarry company name to me in 5 million, 2.5 million woman, you beat you. And then one way, you ever say a boy quarries.
Yenje enkratu etosu mienu madaroma ebeba sisia. Ye mahwefo nyina akwa abayetwa ensem no eso.
Oswafo wono ene hwe ensase ene efom agudie so awoni onunyamfo Samuel Jinapo wakasa abo Goldfields Ghana for abasu ye papa pesanse sika bia yetwa to wo se wonye etu efom agudie entua no o chese wo mu die afibia wo mu do mu huni pa no mo abetu enam so amu wagina so abo mu abaso na sabaso bodie wo de to dwabra Goldfields Ghana Limited wo mu ede $13.5 million ekoye.
Goldfields Ghana Limited Takwa Mines eye adwuma eku afuma gudie ho adwuma na wodie e wo man Ghana mu na won dwuma die mu no brana wosika wo so tua e ma ban na eno na brana so a empinfo da Goldfields Ghana Limited Takwa Mines ano akwa pie mu e wasoye wo na hwe asase na obade nipa atwe ho ahia so e de checka $13.5 million e wo so a wo de ba Ghana skima be 86.7 million Ghana cedis e de afa so ye ne so se wongie na o man nto aban eno na so afo ne da sa so ye na no eji yema wona muso ya kwapa no kwafo wona dwuma esoani.
Since I became minister last year, since I got a privilege and honor to be made minister by the president last year, I think you've been very consistent in your payment of dividends. You were one of the companies which stepped forward to pay dividends even before I was sworn in as minister, and I recall that vividly. So I used the opportunity to call on other corporate entities in the mining industry to organize themselves in such a way that they will also follow suit, follow the steps of Goldfields and pay dividends to government, and therefore in the process the people of Ghana will get the benefit of the mineral resources of this country, and the contribution you make through the payment of these dividends will also help in the forward march of the country and the development of the country.
No so for neka sa echire no no pina wono na ehwe echire say executive vice president and head of Goldfields West Africa Joshua Motobi enso edo so afo na se echire mu asabakofo didi a enya de ekromu eye de ne sa yesunti no onso wo ye wona dwuma no na yese wo ye wona sede na wonya asumdwe ede ye wona dwuma ochire mu a ode no so to nchen a eye ade wasabo wo homodin pa say dwuma eku eye akwan 33 kilometers ede ama amanfo takwa daman no na ne bo esun $27 million takwa.
Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission ano hey Patricia Eduseipoku wa reported companies maku 251 he dia ma Attorney General's Department adenya osesa companies nyina e dia banka enti Data Protection Act 2012 Act 843 no hey ade a omabusu nti emra ene wo mo eni
kwanchirefo penyina wono ene da Data Protection Commission ikuna no ene Patricia Eduseipoku ne kasa yimo no ena wochiri mu a enyumakwa hudu bi e wo man Ghana mu baye 251 awo dwumadi ahudu mu no ogine pa ho nsem na sa enyumakwa hudu yi Data Protection Act 2012 Act 843 ayade awobuso ne saye suntini mpinifo atwa na se edo makwa kopie mu e wo Justice and Attorney General soye se wonfa wo mu emfa mra kwan so ne yekeka sa enyumakwa yi odo o man ne ka be 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Opinion na kasa yemu no na wochiri mu a efiri so o man Ghana ye say digital transformation agenda se no wabo won homodin e de krata kwakoma nyumakwa hudu nyina so wonhwe won be me register wonjuma o Data Protection Commission nchen na so nyina no ya de a watwe wonani a onti mposi odogo bi enu abe
omonye de mra ne kire se omonye no omo ye active businesses omo tua taxes aye wo mo ye system mo omonye registration no enti se ne be ya sembe ye de no ya ma wo mo notice ya tworo wo mo ya ma mo 14 days so mo register but ebinum abadodo na ama tududu na ama no emu 251 na omo no ya de letter na di kan yakọ I am 14 days a omo ama na ne ya de list ni koma Attorney General say onye na aban sika ewo wo mo ho a wububu ka wo mo de ka eni na maba 1.5 million ya di arrears ka ho arrears no so no ya de ka ho because from October 2020 besi March 31st March 2021 no your Honorable Minister of Communication oye na dwen say yentimi enkwa prekope say modi e kati no o twa 6 months to ho say we wave ka bia obi ade so baba na wa ba register within the 6 months window there ubetua registration fee ni keke wo ne ka enti from October 2020 to March 31st ye bo ho de rosa se obi amra metua ba dodo na still omo ama enti wa man from 1st April 2021 ebe sisa make say there wo de ka registration fees plus arrears yes see arrears for 251 companies keke po a kwa 1.5 million already enti ayabansika ewase wo mode ba na yeso yenya be ye adwuma na yetimi ebode ro about data protection e kire aman no 56 letter no wunya be to desk so act on it kire say ekodu court who at risk say yebetimi di watum as the key decision maker of your institution, and it's up to 2 years.
Yet wakase bono eso abakrachi penny owoga east abato mpesua so no yenya ntiase wo de aso akobɔ fam asese wo bi kwan ato wonom ama aboko bi kro no wo mu akwan ahodo na asese no wo mu ahyase aye
ena wo chiri mo sika odi bedi dwumadie ne de ayade ano aboa dada na yisika nyina no oboaboa no edi firi mansene ni mu ni aka ne se wona wote aboko bi ene bia ya hodo benya dwumadie no so mfaso no wodi akita pa ebeta contractor na chi na hwie bi bosoma miensa wodi ato se no ena odi bewie dwumadie no watumi awie ne sabre no ama amanfo nya so mfaso
emsa wo hwe kwan we ya rehabilitation omo aye pen enti we no 3 months ndi omo hwe nim se 3 months na ya wie Afia so ya hospital road and station road ya de nya nso beka ho na nya ko 2.5 kilometers ne ya ye na asphalt ama omonti omonya gide wa assembly no say yes 3 months pepepe na ye wie nya me ya doma enani nansa ya ko ye Mr J ye frɛ baby hallelujah ye hon pure water ufa was so ban say materials ko gu ho a ye ba be reshaping eno mo no ye de ama contractor dada no as an assembly yen santimi sanko award biom ne be ya ne reshaping na ya hwe ni mu se contractor no be ba site no abeye adwuma ti me show mo wa endo wo so no me sre mo nya abotire omo so de be ba enche kokoba me de ma contractor ni te me sre no kwan yem se no na lead to main road I ba assembly esan kokoko e tre amanfo fie utimi fa akra kwa abri ti me sre no se 3 months so mbo mo de ano fa osienye oyo na kwan no ntimi wie ma en 3 months pepepe
na nkese akire no ene ohena wono ne wo abukobi ni aje mu henu enso de asede ni kabia e ma ban krachi penyini no ene wo de to contract na nim se wonhwe no nya adwuma so enye se oba bi adwuma gogwa bia na ochena no eso abebubo ntukuro ti sese bi ne amotia etoware e wo ho.
I thank government and the MCE for allowing this project to come on now at this time. You contractor, you are welcome. We take you as one of us, and please do not hesitate to let us know your difficulties. Where we can help, we will do with much obliged.
Na ne kokra mu no contractor wono ne edi adwuma no ahye ne sa Maxwell Amponsa enso di nsem sei ene tu
irritation na yesile. After that, another surface never but you line markings, road signs, then you may be able to residents need for no by ama omwetumi use road no maya kama
abusia ha ene brema ye kwan ma anwumre kase ye de ni nyina ese ye ntade a ehyin se West Closet ono ene de ehye yen se West Closet wo odoko traffic light no ase techno nie ne number enso eye 0243 508625 0243 508625 Cute Cat Beauty Parlor Abeka Junction ene ye miti 0246 897
Sanso ena miti no Asorba Hair City ena eyeye owo Achimota Mile 7 ebi ayefa eka eko arajini tabora ne the taxi station wa oni ne di enkwanimu number no 0244734701 0244734701 yeda aboafo nyina asimidi e de Afia Adutwumwaa Morosa nene
obahima Afia Akyere Asiedu.
My name is Beryl Adum, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the Brennan Hall of the National Lottery Authority. It's a beautiful Thursday evening, but we understand that in order for you to have a perfect evening, you need some money in your pocket. So this is the Fortune Thursday draw, the avenue to make you some cool cash.